So hey everyone and welcome to another Fake Grand Order review. This time it is on the Singularity Camelot that I just recently finished on stream. And oh my god. First of all, thank for everyone that been watching this stream and all that with me. And the videos on YouTube and all of that. It's been super fun to do that. And I must say, I did an estimated calculation on the videos, the length of the videos. And it took about 26 hours for me to go through Camelot. That is quite a long time. That is many hours spent on just Camelot. Now, of course, I'm not the fastest, and of course, it's a bit slower when you're playing all by yourself. You can speed up a little bit when you're playing and all that, because I talk a lot and generally very slow. Still, though, it was a blast playing this, and I just want to go through a little bit things I do like about this and the things I don't like about it. Don't worry, it's not many things I don't like about it. Generally, these have been a blast. I mean, first of all, when comparing to America, the America Singularity, not only the story-wise, but the first thing I, of course, for those that did watch me, noticed directly the wall I hit when I entered this. The increase of challenge, the difficulty just increasing massively. I mean, I got so pummeled by like that fucking swings in the beginning and things like that. That really surprised me because I didn't expect it to be this tough. Because many battles were tough in this, with Enforcement Knights, which I first I'm gonna say they looked amazing. I love their designs. It's probably the best design mob in the game so far, what I've seen. Because I love how they look like, the details of their armors and all that. But frankly, they suck. I hate to fight them. They are tough as nuts, and fuck me, that was painful as hell. Gosh damn, but still though, I loved it, and I was amazed by this. First of all, also want to thank everyone of you that lend your servants in support for me to use, because otherwise I would never been able to beat this. Not at least at this speed. I'd probably take twice the time if I didn't have all that help. And I thought that was really interesting, you know, but I decided, before I do jump right into talk more about the positive things, I decided to talk about two things I didn't really like about this. Okay, it's not that really big problems or anything like that, more like things that slightly annoyed me a little bit. First one is the weird battles you have with Hassans. I love the Hassans. They were without doubt some of my favorite characters in this Singularity and all that. But some of these fights felt, you know, you need to fight the Hassans over and over so many times. That felt a little bit like dragged out. It felt like, what? Then again, I can understand 100 Persona, but the other, like Serenity and especially Curse Bro, felt a little bit like, why? Because haven't I already proved myself? I mean, when it comes to 100 Persona, I can see, because they suffer from multi-personality disorder and all of that. So while the first one maybe will be like, okay, I'm okay with that, then there's still 99 personalities left there that might be like, I don't trust this guy, and still though. So I guess that is the main reason. But still though, I found some of these fights a bit like, why? Okay. I mean, nothing I hate, but it's more like, little bit pickering about. And then, of course, one thing I did also had very problems with was the gifts the knights had. These gimmicks that they created with these. I mean, sure, it made the battles and fights very different compared to normal battles and all of that. Made them very different, stick out so a lot. But at the same time, it felt like, damn, why? It's so frustrating, because the thing is that I found the problem with this kind of thing is that it really forces you to play certain servants. Which, if you have them, of course, is no problem. But if you don't have them, you are so screwed. Take, for example, Gawain. He's so much about being able to, like, Erijail and Orion, things like that, are so fucking good against him that if you don't have them, you're pretty screwed. If not, if you don't have a really amazing stall team like Merlin, Mashu, and Jean d'Arc, or so, you know, or Cuchulainn, or you know, a real good stall team. And of course, not everyone has, for example, Merlin or something like that either. And I found those gifts very annoying and frustrating to deal with. still, it was also quite fun. I mean, then again, I'm not gonna say it was fun when I was gonna fight Tristan and my lances were useless because you needed sabers against him. Because fuck, that was just frustrating, you know. God damn. But otherwise, I mean, I can see what they're doing this. I mean, of course, it kind of brought out the kind of concept and all of that. Still, though, it was things I was a slightly bit annoyed over. But that was just me being frustrated by all of that. Because I already struggled with all this, and then they're adding these things to these fuckos. Like, what are you... Hello, I'm already struggling here not to die. And then you're adding this kind of crap. Thank you. But yes, otherwise though, I don't find anything I really want to complain about, because there is nothing really in my regard. I mean, now of course you can say you think the story is boring or it's bad. That is all of course subjective in that regard. So what I'm talking about now is simply what I like and I don't like, so to speak. And what I do like with this Singularity, first of all, I want to go into music. Music was outstanding, especially the latest Ost, when you were fighting the Lion King and all. That was like, oh god, shivering, man. And then we had those moments when Merlin was talking to Bedivere. That kind of music as well. I mean, that was so fucking good. I'm honestly gonna try to look for the... if there is an album or playlist with all of these songs, because I would love that. And then of course, do I really love the development of Mashu in this Singularity. We get to see her grow. She get more level, well able to level. She has some more ascensions. Her MP evolved to a really smooth, amazing looking little animation and all that I fucking love. Probably one of my favorites MPs right now when it unleashed like that. It looks so fucking good. I just hope everyone else could get that kind of treatment. And of course her connection to Lancelot, and of course the revelation that she is, well, the demi-servant she's part of is Galahad and all of that. And the shield is part of the round table, which I think is really cool and was really like, whoa, real revelation. And talk about revelation, we do have Sherlock Holmes. That was also a bit odd, I must say. I would actually prefer to see him in London. But I do like the throwback that the books Anderson would go through, that someone had organized and left notes and whatever in those. And it was Sherlock Holmes here that had done that. That is something I think is really awesome when it actually translates. And that is something that is, when you think about it, is actually insane, because but every time a singularity is, when we clear the singularity, that singularity pretty much vanish and time return to normal, you know, everything, those servants that was there, the people that was there, don't remember anything, right? Yet Sherlock Holmes managed to leave that in London and then also appear in Camelot. How did he do that? God, dude, that dude is... Well, I mean, it's Sherlock Holmes after all, but still, though, I think that is pretty cool, actually. It makes me curious. And also, when it comes to characters, all that, I'm really happy we got to see, like, Ozymandias, but also, especially Nitocris, I must say, because I really like Nitocris. And seeing that, especially the last fight, when both of them pretty much die by trying to take down the Lion King and the fucking laser beam shit and all that going on. And talking about dying, we of course have Stella, man, Arash, sacrifice. That was also like, that is the thing. It lots of, I hate to say the word, but beautiful sacrifices. And by that I mean literally that it's emotional. It's not just like a waste. It actually helps. I mean, when I say that, I'm gonna say it right away. For those that have been playing like Halo Reach, one of the worst things I had there was one of my favorite characters there, Jorgen or something like that. George. He doing a sacrifice, you know, because this alien Covenant ship comes and he literally goes into that ship and with a big bomb, and he blow himself up with that ship to save mankind. The thing is, after that ship exploded and like everything is saved, then you see like 100,000 other ships spawning. Like, well, that was a sacrifice, not. You know, it was so unnecessary. It was you felt like, yeah, well, here he went and did his sacrifice, and in the end, it didn't really matter anyways because fuck. And also, not to mention that with Arash and all that, it was very emotional, and man, do I like that bro more now. I mean, I love to see all these characters like Tora. Even if I felt Tora, that also problem a bit negative is that Tora didn't get to do much in the end. He rode into the battle with Sansang and all of that, and in general actually didn't do too much. But then again, I think he did more outside of battle really, because he provided rice to people and he gave them something to cherish and be happy about, which I think is probably pretty amazing actually when I think about it, especially when food is scarce. Then we're really gonna be happy. And then of course Sansang. Man, seriously, seeing her talk about before she died, about how she hoped that she could like join the Chaldeans, that like tore out my heart. I was like, no, I need to get her as well. Fuck. And that is the thing I love, because even if you know they are digital, they just numbers and colors, and you know it's just fiction. They're not real. Well, there was real in history, of course, but you know what I mean. It's a game, it's an anime, it's a show. Still, it can affect so much that you like literally like, dude, I would die to protect this one. But it's not even real. Fuck that. I'd rather die for that this is not real than going out to die for someone that I hate anyways. You know, if people can believe in Jesus and all that, and gods and all, then I'm gonna believe in my little anime figure here. Just saying. And also about also when it comes to this, I do really love the story in this. And I really do like the concept of it. I mean, usually when you think knights, the classic knight type is the knight that fights the dragons, save the maiden and save the day, the hero, the heroic kind of character. But here the knights is actually the bad ones, and the assassin that you usually see is the, well, the evildoers. They do horrible deeds, and well, is actually the good ones. I think that is very interesting. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Assassin's Creed and all that. But I think that is pretty neat because it doesn't bound to the stereotypical things that good versus evil. And then again, their concept of good and evil is kind of like not perfect black and white. It's still a little bit of grayscale into all it all. And I think that makes it really interesting and why I really enjoy this story and all that. And then of course we do also have the Romani secret that I don't know yet, but I still have the idea. I mean, it revealed a lot about that Romani was part of the Holy Grail War and won with Olga's father. And something going on there, slot secret. I mean, even not King Hassan, Sherlock Holmes, and everyone seemed to know this and know things, and not wanted to talk about it about Roman. And I still stand by the fact that I think, and I wouldn't be surprised anymore that he is a servant. That he was Marisbury's servant that was in the Holy Grail War, and because they won, he got to stay alive here in this era, so to speak. And that's pretty much like Gilgamesh do in Fate Zero and all of that. And I think that is pretty interesting and makes me really, really wondering who he is, because they say the first 3 servants that were summoned by Chaldea. They're talking about that, and the second one was Galahad. The first one, the third one was Da Vinci. And we assume that Solomon was the first one. I still think it is. But I wouldn't be surprised if it is actually Romani. If he is a servant. Because we don't know. I mean, Solomon is not a normal kind of servant. He's a grand caster and all that crap. A super servant like fucking God. He probably could have been summoned in a different way, or he actually have not even died, pretty much like Bedivere did in Camelot. And also that, fuck you, Betty, it made me sad. Man, that hit me in the feelings. But yes, so I'm really curious to see more about Romani's secret, to see what we can get out of that. I want to know, I need to know. But yes, in general though, there are so many store pieces in this that was so amazing. I love the fact that we got to see about Bedivere and his strike, and then we got to know that he'd been living for 1500 years, and then managed finally to give back the sword to the Lion King, aka Arthur, and then he just smiled as he died and vanished. Dude, that was like heart-wrenching. I was legit about to cry there, because holy fuck. And then of course we see Agravain in the end there, after all of this, blood and all of that, lost an eye, and after fighting Lancelot and talks, and you see, I mean, it's just sad about the guy, seriously. But yes, in general though, this without doubt have been blowing the other singularities out of the water by massive shots. Seriously, the story, the challenges, the characters, the concept, everything of it have been fucking outstanding compared to America and London and all that. I thought Okeanos was pretty okay. It's still nothing compared to Camelot so far. And I can see why people always talk about, oh, Camelot is so good. And I can see why. Because the story and all of this have been fucking amazing. And I love that. Definitely been really, really great. And of course I heard people talk that Babylonia is even better. Or at least equal good. And if it's just equal good, then I'm super happy. Because I want to see how that gotta be like. Because this was outstanding. Beautiful music, beautiful art. I love the little weird. Sometimes we did have this anime, the image transition that we never had in the previous singularities either. So yes, for me, this is so far the best singularity I played. Story-wise, music-wise, art-wise, challenge-wise. Simply like that. And I will be back talking more reviews about this, especially when I'm done with Babylonia, but I'm not sure how long that would take for me, considering it took me 26 hours to just finish Camelot. Gosh. But I hope so many of you will join for me that journey as well, either on you're watching on YouTube or on stream and all of that. And yeah, hopefully it's gonna be a good time. So this is my final thoughts about this beautiful, amazing singularity. Thank you for watching. See you later on. Have a continued super great day.